Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Only a couple topics I want to talk about in this latest Moon Lambo hot jam. I'll start with a couple perspectives from XRP chart analysts, including one who says that the level that he's citing here is really the only level that ultimately matters, and that's on an XRP USD chart. You know, if you consider an XRP BTC chart, that's a whole different ballgame, because that one's starting to look very interesting as well, because it looks so dismal for XRP. But like I keep saying in recent videos, you've probably heard me by now, I'm intentionally repeating this a lot. When that happened, when you have it looking like it's in the gutter, XRP BTC, historically, that has been the moment when it just shoots to the upside. I also mentioned in a previous video that there's perspective from an individual explaining why he believes that this time is a little bit different, this market cycle. You know, because what we've seen right now, Bitcoin obviously recently hitting a new all-time high twice within the last several days here, but then immediately, you know, the liquidations cascade on down. You guys are well aware of that, right? But why have altcoins been moving up? Not all of them, but why have a lot of altcoins been moving up while Bitcoin's been moving up? Isn't that a little bit strange? And the answer is yes. That's not what we've seen. But this is the first reasonable explanation I've seen as to why that's the case, coming from a thoughtful, reputable source. And so I wanted to share that with you, because this is one of those things that's been different. Everybody in crypto has been talking about this. I know the blockchain backer, for example, has been talking about this a lot. It's like, and he's right, like this actually is different. This is not what we've seen. Normally, you see Bitcoin run, then money rotates into large caps, mid caps, small caps, so on and so forth, you know, rinse and repeat. But that's not what's happening now. We're seeing altcoins take off. You know, I mean, and I noted this in a previous video too, like you've got the meme coin, you got Doge and SHIB in the top 10 coins by market cap. What fresh hell is this? You know, so like we haven't even seen Bitcoin have a sustained break above all-time highs. Yes, it's broken above all-time highs twice, but then precipitously falls down. We haven't even seen it break above and sustain that for any notable period of time. And you still got meme coins, 2 out of the top 10 spots taken up by meme coins. I'm here for it. It's pretty funny. Anyway, before going further, though, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And so here's a post from chart analyst Crypto's XRP USD chart here, and he said, the only level that matters, and that's where this blue bar is, hovering around, say, roughly 62 cents here. And it is fascinating. I mean, you can look, for those of you that are not looking, I'll just describe part of it here. You can look back to like the end of 2020 when XRP finally breaks out here. And this level keeps being of substantial importance because it keeps flipping from being resistance to support to resistance, so on and so forth. And so you can see at the end of 2020, this resistance level kind of broke, testing up against it, went back down, tested it again, back down, and then broke out here, and then back down. And at this point now, that same level is support, and it went way back up, and then it went back down, and it's support again, but then it fell through that support level, so that became resistance again. And you can see it. I mean, if you want to take a look, just pause here and take a look at it. But this is where we're at right now. And so we're hanging out, you know, above that right now, right? So at the time of recording this, it's right around there, 62.2 cents. So kind of a crucial moment. And then, so you consider that with what's happening on the XRP BTC chart, another one I've been talking about a lot intentionally on the channel recently, because we actually are at the moment where, like, you need to be aware of this. And so you have chart analyst JD writes, XRP BTC moment of truth. Last 2 times we tested trendline, it bounced off it, leading to the parabolic phase. Will we bounce off? And so again, we are at that exact moment here, and there's no shortage of analysts highlighting this with their own charts. Like I can't find an analyst that thinks this isn't of supreme importance. And historically, this absolutely has been crucial, dating back to like 2014. This is where we are now. And so eventually what happens is XRP becomes worth so much less compared to Bitcoin as Bitcoin takes off. Market takes note, and they're like, the smart individuals out there are like, wow, this is a pretty big gap here. I don't think this is going to last. And then people start buying it. And then more people copy those people, then more people copy those people. You get a big ass green candle, and then all of the idiot retailers FOMO into it. This is what happens with, well, coin after coin after coin, but this is the moment specifically historically on the XRP chart where it makes sense for this to be happening. It doesn't mean today or tomorrow or next week necessarily, but sooner than later. This is the moment that we're at right now. Now, as far as why we have been seeing coins take off in a way that's a bit different than the past, this is the first good theory that I've seen on this. It comes from Matt Hugan, CIO of Bitwise, with the spot Bitcoin ETF. This is a sharp individual here, and I found this perspective to be insightful, and it's the first reasonable explanation that I've seen anyway, of why altcoins have been taking off while Bitcoin has been taking off, and before Bitcoin has blasted off to new all-time highs, which again, it's never happened before, but it's happening right now. And I came across this thanks to XRP community member Frecky, so shout out to Frecky for tagging me in this along with Chart Analyst Credible Crypto. I do appreciate this, and I found this thread incredibly insightful, so I want to run through this real quick. And so here's what he had to say. Lots of discussion out there about the early start of alt season, and some surprise that it's happening given Bitcoin is only up a few 100% from the lows. Some thoughts. In my opinion, the primary driver of alt season is a classic wealth effect. Crypto natives make money in Bitcoin, feel rich, and then look for more speculative assets to invest in. This happens in the traditional fiat economy as well, where people make money in large caps and then start investing in small caps, VC, etc. They also make more trips to Vegas. Market rotation and wealth effects are a tale as old as time. So I'll pause right here. And what he's saying right here, that part technically we already knew. Because even before this cycle, we already knew that money started at Bitcoin, and then as people recognize, wow, this is just done incredibly well for me. My investment in Bitcoin has been fantastic. People will then sell that and either cash out to you United States dollars or their fiat currency of choice, or what they will do is they'll find coins that haven't moved up dramatically yet and invest in those. So they'll go into large caps, then mid caps, small caps, and then rinse and repeat. So that part we already know, and so that's what he's citing here. But when he cites the wealth effect, this is the part that is different this time. So let me continue with his explanation here. He says, what catalyzes alt season is not the percentage return of Bitcoin, but the cumulative size of the wealth effect. And since the November 2022 lows, Bitcoin's market cap has grown by $1 trillion. $1 trillion is a lot of money. By comparison, in earlier cycles, the amount of wealth generated by Bitcoin rallying was smaller on an absolute dollar scale at this stage in the cycle, even though it was larger on a percentage scale. So, wealthy crypto investors are starting to take some of their Bitcoin wealth and move it into altcoins. Given that many of these coins are relatively small in size, it does not take much money to significantly increase the price. Folks, that, as soon as I read that, I was like, that just makes sense. Doesn't it? That's a pretty damn good theory. The wealth effect, yes. And so we already know humans behave like this, but the point is, forget about the percentage gain. The reason it seems to be happening sooner in the cycle is because in terms of absolute dollars that are in profit for people, it's already here. Forget the percentages. Forget the percentages don't matter. In the real world, because it's so much bigger now, because there's so much more money in crypto, in terms of absolute dollars, there's enough money to flow in. And when that money starts to flow into the small caps, since there's almost no money into some of these small caps and mid caps, and even arguably some of the large caps, there's so little money in those compared to what's in Bitcoin that you get this incredible multiplier effect for those coins. That's what's happening right now. I think this is highly plausible, right? Don't you? If you can poke a hole in it, then let me know in the comment section. But anyway, he continues. More wealth means more money to trickle down to more projects. An added catalyst, and a more exciting one, is that the tech infra for altcoins is significantly improved over past cycles. Things like the Dinkin upgrade on Ethereum and the rise of Layer 2s are real technological advances that make non-monetary or tangentially monetary uses of public blockchain much more interesting than they were in the past. Combine the historically large wealth effect with better tech infrastructure, and you get what we're seeing now, with a strong altcoin rally. Importantly, I do not think this means either the bull market or alt season will end early. The reason is the bull market is different from prior bull markets in one important way. Historically, alt season capped the rise of Bitcoin as marginal capital shifted out of Bitcoin into the rest of the market. But Bitcoin's 2024 rally is being driven by entirely new money, non-crypto native money, flowing into the ecosystem via ETFs. And so, folks, even though it's the case that the ETF money, that money can't cycle into, at least not easily, can't cycle into alts because they'd have to literally sell the ETF, which would be done on like a traditional platform because you're talking about the New York Stock Exchange, so on and so forth. And then you have to take that money and then put it on Coinbase. But the people that bought the Bitcoin ETFs, like, those are not people that have cryptocurrency exchange accounts, right? But the point is, it still drove up the price. It was a factor in driving up the price for Bitcoin, which means the people that do have Bitcoin on places like Coinbase, Binance, etc., they can sell, and they're the ones that are rotating that money into the alts. They're the ones that are doing it, not the ETF people. Anyway, Matt Hoogan continues. This suggests the wealth effect can be ongoing for a while. As long as more new money is flowing in via ETFs than old money is flowing out into alts, because I think the Bitcoin bull market is still in its early stages. I suspect this will be the case. The result is more of an everything season than a classic alt season. That's what we're seeing in the market, and I suspect it will continue. One last note, be careful out there. Lots of terrible projects get funded in exuberant bull markets, and many are already trading at crazy valuations. There are some great projects as well, of course, but not everything that's going up deserves to be. And so, again, I think that's highly plausible. If you can poke a hole in that, I'd be curious to hear what you have to say about it, but that makes sense to me. I think that makes a ton of sense, to be honest with you. And that also means that we got a wild card here in terms of what that means for XRP specifically. Is XRP going to go sooner than you would have expected in previous cycles? Totally plausible. We're seeing a lot of stuff move sooner. The wealth effect. Interesting, right? I'll wrap up here. Just let me know what you guys think, though. Interesting topic. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.